TV, certainly the best. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from Independent Television and Radio.
We're broadcasting live on Independent Television. This is 60 Minute Nigeria, your ultimate current affairs program where we take you around Nigeria in the next 60 minutes, analyzing the politics, the policies. You can also say the politricking as well. On the show this beautiful afternoon, we have so much to discuss: the defection, party defection here and there. We've seen what happened in Rivers. The Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara defecting to the All Progressive Congress in Osun. We saw the PDP Governor still, Senator Ademola Adeleke, defecting to the Accord Party. We'll be looking at how it will shape in 2027, which is already around the corner. I am Lawrence Osifo, your anchor, standing in for your regular host, Egusa Agbonlaho, who is actually unavoidably absent, but he will be back next week to take you through on the program. So like I said, we have so much to delve into, and I have my array of guests, political analysts, people who understand the polity, the policies and everything, who will be with me. Some will be joining via Zoom on the show, while I also have one already live with me in the studio this afternoon. I have the person of Bright Olumese, who is a clergyman, not just a clergyman, he's also a political analyst. He understands what happened in the polity. Good afternoon and good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah, it won't be out of place to say compliment of the season, Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
And prosperous New Year ahead.
Yeah, same to you.
All right, let's begin the conversation. We've seen what has played out over, should we say, the months now or weeks in Nigeria. Defection, gale of defection here and there, especially PDP governors defecting to the APC. Trying to look at the implication for 2027. To the politicians, we're already in 2026. Though we are still in 2025, but today we're already in 2026. Any moment from now, campaign will begin and all of that. What really could be some of the impact of this defection? First, let's start with the PDP. Is it like the house of PDP is not in order? That's why their governors are decamping.
Thank you again, Lawrence, and good afternoon, viewers at home. You see, Nigeria politics and the political space is revolving, and we're growing. And we have the PDP situation is an example or a lesson for other political parties. There are certain internal crises you shouldn't allow to stay too long in your political party.
Yeah.
Yes. The internal crisis over the year in the PDP has come to play. PDP is almost like a house that cannot put itself together. You see, over a few months, they've lost almost their governors. Yeah. The one remaining is just safe footstep. They are negotiating their way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The reason why they are still there is that they don't get safe landing. So it's a lesson, like I said, to other political parties, allowing certain internal crises stay for too long. And all of that. And you see, PDP, as it were, used to be the biggest political party
in Africa.
When you talk about political party even in Nigeria, which of the political party, they were all given birth to by PDP. Yeah, so now, but the problem right now is that the recent players of the PDP seems that greed, personal interest, not trying to shift ground, has created long-lasting rancor, and they already begin to. But you see the Osun State situation. The if to the primaries, the governor just pull out. Resign. The reason is because, like, look, politics is negotiation, reaching out to the panel. You see that, look, these guys are not even organized. I can't put my weight here, and all of that. I may be disappointed, and he pull out. And negotiating his way somewhere else, and all of that. So it's just to seek relevance. So it's almost like the statement of the governor says that, look, you guys are not relevant any longer in town.
Yeah.
It's like the name PDP right now can't sell like that.
As it were.
As it were. So every right thinking candidate who has done his research will look, I want to win. Absolutely. That's the important thing.
That's the aim of every politician.
Of the politician
to win.
Yes. Now, all politicians, they must have brought experts, look at, sample opinions and all of that, and come up with, look, this political party will be difficult to sell.
Yeah.
There's so much factor, there's so much enemy, there's so much interest. There is this Abuja, very big guys in Abuja that really don't want PDP to resurrect anywhere. So fighting PDP is just their business.
That's their job.
Their job.
They are being paid for that to do that.
It's like they derive pleasure
in doing it.
They create, one of the politicians said, touch me, I'll create problem for you. And that's what is playing out today.
Absolutely.
So any politician who wants to remain, in power or wherever, you have to seek relevance somewhere.
When you win election.
Yes, so that's the case of the Osun. When you look at the River State, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
A little bit different in the sense that the sitting governor is trying to seek
a second term.
Yes, not just second term, survivor.
That's true. Survivor.
I don't support defection. I don't support that at all. Number one, you can't just win in this political party. Look at the South have all now become APC, not by vote.
Yeah.
By defection. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. It's painful. Because when you see political party build up to the election, you see fans, you see sympathizers, you see people,
party members, and even the electorate.
Just for one person to just sit down, the next
end of the day,
you see him taking tea with the other. Are you for real? But right now, the Fubara case, it's like you can't blame this guy.
Yeah.
A sitting governor who battled, what, a lot of battles, almost being impeached. The president came with intervention. He was suspended for 6 months and all of that. And coming back again, there is still, we thought we've said to do.
Yeah.
The sitting speaker is still saying that, look, you are not consulting us. You are spending money that have not been appropriated for. So, with looking at all of this, look, I need to survive. Okay. Because if these guys come up with this impeachment thing again, I may not survive it. So the clear move of Fubara, when I saw it, number one, I saw it about survival for this first tenure and negotiation for the second tenure, because every defection, whether you like it or not, before the landing, there is a negotiation. Absolutely. There's an agreement.
There's an agreement.
Yes, there's an agreement. You could see what he said. He has simply said that, look, my defection is to, number one, attract federal attention for development and to help President Tinubu easy win for 2027. So you can't be helping him to win 2027 when you're not in the ballot.
Wow.
So in other words, for me, it's politics.
Okay.
Right now, political parties in Nigeria, they are right in that stage where you can negotiate. It's an open market.
Yeah.
It's a trading
it's like buying and selling.
There is no constant enemy.
Okay, we'll have to take a break now on the show. Let's just take a short break. We'll continue with the conversation shortly. Stay with us. All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Still on the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. We've laid the foundation with my first guest, who already gave us a brief before my other guest joined us, the person of Collins Osagai, who is a political analyst and also a chieftain of the ruling All Progressive Congress. Collins, good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nice having you.
Compliment of the season.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm pretty sure you overheard Olumese while he was laying the background to our conversation before you came up on air. Now, the defection of governors from their previous party to either the ruling party or another party. We're using the case of the defection of Fubara now of Rivers from the PDP to the APC, then Adeleke of Osun from the PDP to the Accord party. Is this healthy generally for democracy?
Yeah, thank you very much. Ordinarily, some of us would say, would there be any need for people to defect?
Yeah.
But we do not have independent candidacy in Nigeria based on our electoral law. And based on that, you must leverage on a structure or a political party in order to achieve what you intend to achieve by aspiring or winning an election. And now we have a major tsunami that occurred in the People's Democratic Party. When we talk about people actually defecting now, are people moving out of PDP. And the reason thereof, which is close, though There are more than one reason for some of those governors who had to leave. For some who left, they left because the leadership of the party could not help to stand a system that can be guaranteed. You know, there have been a lot of issues in PDP. BOT, a fighting member of the National Working Committee, the state chairman, a fighting national chairman, governors are fighting with the former minister or ministers still that is in the party. So there have been lot of issues. And these issues become unresolvable. You know, at the time they felt it would be resolvable, And time was of essence to many of them who intend to recontest for an election or who intend to go further people to contest for an election. And when you are in a party where we have had series, we have references to make when a political party chooses not to work in coherence. And at the end, you submit a name to the party. It has even happened to APC. Some time ago, when the state, they were having issues, and at the end of the day, the court rejected the candidacy that came from that party. It happened in Zamfara some years ago.
So they can call that internal political crisis?
Yes, internal political crisis, metaphor into becoming a collateral damage for the party, where a governor, houses of assembly member were all sacked based on the fact that there were problems within the party, and the courts and INEC actually had issue with recognizing the original candidature. So probably most of them don't want to be victim. In order to escape this kind of issue, they have to quickly find an alternative. And for majority of them too, they also needed a party that has structure already on ground. Because it's one thing to join a new party, it's another thing to carry the weight and the burden. It is not easy funding a political party. I am telling you, if one Adeleke, the dancing governor that had to move to a new party today, I tell you ordinarily, it wasn't his intention to move to a new party. He would have found it healthy to go to APC, which he wanted to. Because we were privy to the fact that himself, his family member, including his son, Davido and all of them.
His cousin, his nephew.
No, we will call him his son because
he's the father.
It's not more like a nephew thing. So because he's very fond of him, he even had to meet with the president, met with some leader of the APC.
I will pause you there because
there will be a soft landing.
We will get to that point where the APC, in quotes, allegedly rejected him. We'll get to that point. Now, before I come to Olumesi, let me come to you again. Do you foresee a situation whereby these guys are running, like he said, he mentioned the word survivor. They are running to either other parties or the ruling APC. Is it for survivor, or you could say they have been coerced to join the APC?
I know, I can trace this and we can make a simple reference to Edo, for example. Now, I do not think any of them have been coerced so far. Because at the level it is right now, they will even pay to the camp. Like when the governor
That's an allegation anyway.
I said they will even pay
allegedly
to come.
Allegedly.
Yes, I have not said it happens. They will even have to lobby major leaders in order for them to find their foot in the APC. Because today APC is everybody's new wife. Because it's already a settled party, it's a ruling party, though people had to take and make all of those efforts to make it what it is today. But the truth is that it's democracy, people can come. Now, I wanted to do a simple narrowing to Edo, for example. When the governor came, opposition had a pretty number of House of Assembly members.
Yes, they do.
And for the governor to do very well and perform, he doesn't need a legislature that will give him head hawk or bent neck. He needed people who will understand his agenda, his ideology, and they can easily work together. Because you will not stop the fact that opposition leaders at that time may want to use their honorable members to want to give the governor some head on and say, yes, I'm coming. And saying, oh, yes, we have majority in the legislature. Even though you're an executive, we can give you problem. We saw it happen when Adam just assumed office some years ago, when PDP then had majority, and then our party ACN, we had almost none, apart from about 2 or 3 in the House of Assembly. When people like the Zekawano were speaker and all of that, there were a lot of issues before some of them gradually came. In this one, when the governor came, even some of us who are party faithful, even have to approach some of our friends who were in opposition as legislator and say, please, the new agenda is here. We want Edo to shine. Please come and join us. So the governor will have an easy flow. And For those who were very progressive as at that time, they came. And even for majority of us, we say for those who came as at that time, when we actually needed to have a system when the governor will not have issue, they can even be given automatic to continue if they intend to contest again. Because at that time, we needed them to help make sure the budget does not have issue. The government runs smoothly. They obeyed us. But some did not come. And some of those who did not even come, at the time they were needed, some are not coming this late hour, for example. And for some likes like that, we do not have them in priority list. They will come and go to the queue. Even if they want to contest again, for example, they will go to the queue.
So there's a queue.
Of course, there's a queue. Like for Orlando, for example, where I come from,
Not queue for fuel.
Queue, you must join the queue and contest again for the primary. Okay. Like Orlando, for example, where I come from, we have two constituencies, Orlando East and Orlando West, for example. Yeah. For the Orlando West, unanimously, almost everybody have resolved that is a one-way. Because when we needed the person, he came, assisted this agenda, supported the governor, and government started. I think the other one just came up yesterday ago, for example, for the Orlando East. He's going to go to the queue. Because right now he's the one, because the PDP is completely scattered, he does not even know who is going to be state chairman or who is the state chairman or who is his, it's good, it's democracy, we want more people. What I'm trying to say in all shades, okay, at this point, he probably is the one that I now have to beg to come.
All right. Let me come to you now, Olumesi. He has said a whole lot because he will always talk good about his party because he's a party man. He belongs to the ruling APC. So they will even want, if possible, to even make another country an APC country, but that would not be possible. Now, let's look at the defection per se. Like leaving the PDP to, because majority of these governors are to the APC. Majority, almost all of them, that are, even a governor who is not going for a second term again, like the likes of a Bayelsa State Governor, Doye Diri, who is on his last term, also defected. Would you think, like I asked him, that these persons are being coerced, or they are moving out of their free will, or it's a ploy that people are fanning the embers of crisis and the PDP to favor the APC?
Okay, when I mentioned that survivor, yeah, I always say for the case of Fubara, owing the challenges he had faced and what was before him. Yes, he just needed to seek, just like when Obaseki also was looking for a second term, he had to go to PDP. Now, for others, it's coerced.
Okay.
Do you get that right? Yeah. Yes. You see what the federal might,
yeah, with
all their agencies and all of that. Was
in Kuje Correctional Center.
Yes, and all of the Malami, all of that. But we are not saying that don't try anybody, but let it go round.
Yeah.
No selective.
Through the legal procedure.
See, please, if you want to tell me that there's any politician in Nigeria that has clean hands, please keep that to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, when we don't, this on national television, we are privileged to get some information. The amount you get as a city governor to move to the ruling party,
as the case may be.
You see what Adeleke was facing. So his local government fund was withheld and all of that.
They went to court. The court strike out the case, saying that the state government cannot be the one instituting a case for the local government.
Yes. So now, what I want to say next is that that's why you see most of them are accusing the president of trying to turn the country to a one-party state. So, but all the same, like I said, this person it is wrong, morally or wherever, to have galvanized people. When you say political party, a bid up to election, you have sympathizers, you have party members, you have people who just and they work for that party, and you just single-handedly go to corner and move the mandate of the people is totally wrong for any reason. But right now, this is the stage Nigeria politics is going. But it's not, it's not guru for any of the political parties, even in Edo State. Yeah. Do you get that right? Because politicians are only politicians. I say there's no permanent enemy in politics.
It's only interest that is permanent.
I'm not a politician. This man is a politician.
Yeah, he is.
Very soon, because the politician will tell you it's for this, it's just for the people.
Yes. And they did not consult the people.
But whether they consult or not consult, but this is the language we hear. This is the language we hear in this part of the world. Now, when there is a situation tomorrow, the decision will be for the interest of the people. And that's what they will come, they will sell it, and also being able to, make their way. That's why we say we are revolving, we are growing. Yeah. Time is going to come that you are a governor who won't make any difference.
Absolutely.
you will be a sitting governor and lost. In this Nigeria, a sitting president has lost an election. So we want a situation whereby the system will grow to that extent where democracy will be based on ideology, based on what you have to offer. Because sometimes you will now sit down and look at some of all this defection and all that. You see that most of these problems in PDP were self-inflicted.
Absolutely.
One person will sit somewhere and create something out of nothing.
In order to destabilize the party.
Yes, you could imagine a person will come and say, a whole political party should not produce a presidential candidate. My dear sir, it's only from this part of the world you get things like that. But it's okay. So how do you respond? That's the important thing.
Okay.
There's no island of anything. It's politics. Okay. When this guy is playing politics, you also come strategize and all of that. It's not fighting or whatever. And that's what we have also loved in this our politics. Our politics one time, it was shooting, ballot box dancing. We have also passed that stage. Now it's more or less like sitting down. It's a technocrat thing. Yes. If I come right now, I have to chance this man by way of knowledge. And it's acceptable.
And also financial inducement.
Financial inducement, yes, that is what is just the major one now. And all that. So, but the important thing is that, just like he said, the issue of queuing. That's what the negotiation comes. Look at Delta State. The governor is coming. Look at the former deputy senate president, Omo Agege, is there. Lau Keyamo is there. The lack of what's this man? Nollywood actress. Ned. Big wins and all of that. But this guy negotiated his way. Now, as the governor, you are now the leader of the. You see how well footballer said. Immediately, he said, "I'm now 001
in Rivers."
In Rivers, that have also stirred up reactions and all of that. But that is the reality. You remember, the governor is so powerful, so powerful because he's spending the resources of the state, and he has a lot of privileges and all of that. So, what I want to say now is that number one, there's inducement. Okay. There's also this what you call investigate. You see most of these people in government. You see that you are a sitting governor. Your commissioner has been picked. Means your commissioner for this have been picked. It happened here in the Edo State and all of that. So you also know what is going to happen to you. So the quick thing is to, one of the leaders said that join APC, your sins are what? Forgiven. But we've seen that. We've seen. That's why I didn't mention it. We've seen a lot of people who EFC were after. Suddenly,
they moved
when they move, that thing has stopped. So when you come and tell me that some of the APC members are being also going after, it means that those APC members, their languages are not clear. They have not submitted. They are not loyal. So when you are not loyal in this part of the world, you're
so they said. Okay, let me come to you, Osaga. Osaga, before we go on a short break. Now, a party gives you a mandate. You single-handedly move the party and the people's mandate to another political party. Is that not a breach of trust, the way they say it in law? Before we go on a break.
I think the Supreme Court have had reason to talk on this. But
the decisions are dissenting.
No, I am coming. Okay. It's just a personal view sometimes we all right.
Yeah.
Now, when we say people have been induced, did Accord Party induce Adeleke to Accord Party? I'm sure it was also induced by leadership of Accord.
It could also be possible.
Party. Survivor.
Survivor. The other ones are not survivors. See, let's be factual. Okay. Politics, as you people have rightly agreed, it's a game. Yeah. And sometimes, truly, Accord Party could take surprises. But also, to your own surprise too, Accord Party may also take surprises. Okay. We have had leaders who want to decamp from party, former governors. They don't have structure. They don't have people to decamp with. Probably because of their precedent or past records. And when your records are clear that your leadership was empty, nobody goes with you. We have seen people, some members, when they said they are decamping, others of rep or one thing, some are even minus to the party they are coming. It's even a double work. Yeah. It's not every defection that is plus. For example, even in APC, for example, yes, we need high number of votes. But I can bet you there are some who will come, they are minors. Some old members will become so aggrieved and become sabotage.
For their coming in.
Because some of those people either were almost behaving like higher killer when they were in the other side. We have had people who were using battles to battle APC members at a time, just because of their desperation to win an election. I don't want to mention the constituency now, because once I mention, people will know. But when they decamped and came, in some cases, their team have even had appointments. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And there are party faithfuls that were around there. If the leadership do not move faster to appeal to the conscience of those who are taking bullet over the time for the sake of the party. Yeah. And they think you can be used and dumped at will. There will be a time of reckoning. I'm telling you, it's not just to say, oh, let's push him away. Like, there are people you want to push, you can't push them away. It's normal. Okay. So there must be a system, even when people are coming, some who are already minors, there's a way you must speak to those they came to meet in order to pacify them and make them stand in unison.
Okay, we have to go on a break. Still 60 Minutes Nigeria, reaching you live on independent television. My guest, Bright Olumese, a clergyman, political analyst, Collins Usaga, political analyst, and a chieftain of the APC. Doing justice to what we're talking about. The defection of Fubara and the defection of Adeleke to different political parties, the impact for 2027, ahead of 2027. So when we return, we'll be delving more into the impact of 2027. But let's take a short break on the show. Stay with us. All right, thank you so much for staying with us still on the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. We're still looking at the defection of Fubara of Rivers and Senator Adeleke of Osun State from the PDP to the APC and Accord Party respectively. Its impact on the forthcoming 2027 election. Not just these two persons, but an array of governors or politicians who are leaving the PDP or other parties to the APC. What will be the implication? So let's delve into the implication now. Let me begin with you, Olumese. Now, don't you foresee a situation whereby 2027 will come, the people might not want to go out? When I say the people, the electorate might not want to go out there to vote and assume, okay, it has happened now. So maybe everybody has joined the PDP, so let's just leave it like that. Are you not scared of that happening?
Not at
as
all.
an implication?
It's not at all. Okay. The reason is because the politician, the political gladiator, they understand the terrain. Okay. Poverty is deliberate. Yes.
I don't know if you can say that again.
They deliberately make the people poor so that they can control their mind. Go to many of these places, one person is controlling all of them because he just have to share. He's the link. I know that it's a deliberate thing. You know that when I travel, I look at what the other even small economies are doing. People don't have mineral resources. Me and my wife were on vacation. We were just discussing something. What do these people have now that we don't have? I said, look, do you think Nigerian politicians, know what they are doing? Poverty is deliberate to keep the people on check. If the people are not, do you think this set of politicians that's what we'll be having? No! Nigerians are too rich, intellectual people. Go around today, you see governors who can, most of these governors can do different projects. Can they write projects or whatever? So now the point is that poverty is a tool. All these people come to say, my leader is stomach structure.
So a tool they are using on the people.
He say, don't let anybody just take that from you, and all of that. So you see, deliberately they make people poor and all of that, so that they can control them, whether is their will or not will. Yeah. Go to most booths on election day. He's being priced, and all of that. You see one person behind holding the bag. You vote.
But that's against the electoral act.
That is what we are saying. The people are, you know what's called poverty. Do you know the effect of somebody have not eaten since? So finish that. It's just a simple game. So, but we are believing that one day, someday, something will happen. These same people. I was watching over the social media. One member of House of Assembly being attacked.
Yesterday. Yes, that happened yesterday. Either yesterday or this morning.
I was telling people we were together. I said, we are just coming.
It's just the beginning.
Politicians should be careful. When you keep deceiving people, same time, when their eyes
are open,
your children will enjoy it. So please, like I said, it's a heavy concern. Yeah. That the people who come at 2027, we're already in 2027, like you said.
Exactly, for the politicians.
Politicians are already in 2027. They are mapping the people. Somebody that is going to be senator representing this one, that one is already there. That's why this is what my brother said just now. There's certain person that want to decap. It's a threat to this person. Problem is already brewing. Negotiations and all of that. That is politics for you. Like I'm happy that we have grown beyond killing and mimicking. Yes, let's go to
intellectual boss
ideology. Let people who have something to offer be consulted. Yes, let's bring consultant to table. What do we do? How do we win this election?
How do we do it?
Yes, how do we do it? That is what we want to see. Continue as we grow. Yeah. We are growing. So looking at the people will come out, sir, the people will come out. the people will just say, people go and find out how much, who is giving, who is giving,
and who is giving higher.
Yes, that's what is happening. Now you see, election is very expensive. So political party, a candidate is coming into this election, wants to spend billions. He wants to be sure that this political party can give him the platform.
Yeah.
Do you get that right? Okay, now we have certain cases whereby political party helps you to win, but also have cases where candidates help political party to win. When people like Adam Sumai came into this state, the political party he ran under, we didn't know but his personality.
Until he came.
Yes, his personality. So we have cases like that. Like go to Osun State right now. With the report we got this morning that they have turned it to accordingly.
Accordingly.
Accordingly or something like that. It's what is going on now.
Yeah.
It's just that when we have.
So because of the personality.
Just that when we have one time talk back. Those things can happen. People will just keep moving. People can share this. So the issue is because of poverty. If we have professionals, we have people who can feed themselves out of that.
Intellectuals.
You will know that these people have their own. You don't be saying what they're saying. They will do what they want to do. Yes. Okay. So that's what we hope we grow into.
All right.
With the stage where we are now, Nigeria political stage is a negotiating market.
Yeah.
The
highest bidder you get
takes it. So don't kill yourself, please. Go and work hard. Yes. We are happy that we have graduated away from killing Mimi. Let's come into strategies. People who have something to offer. Yes. Let's say that this man is a politician. He has weight in his people in his side. Let people go and buy him over. Finish. That's what is happening right now. When you are so good, you are a bride. People come for you. Absolutely. If I want to go into politics, that's what I would do. If I'm going to politics today, I'll sit down. Who is this person? Go and find out who controls that place. But that's what I'll do. I know that. I won't throw my money around. I know that. So you control this place. Okay, what do they need?
Yes, what do people need?
They need transformer. Give them 10 transformer. They need grade. Give them. I remember the lack of when our honorable Mosede came first time to contest. Yeah. They were grading roads. And all of that, people voted for her. She won. That's politics. So we want to see that, coming straight to your question, people will come out. Okay. Because the people are anxious. They just see every election as a opportunity to get something from the politicians. Just wait, very close to 2027. You will see many more letters. Special assistant.
Definitely.
Senior special assistant.
Definitely.
Call the names. I know that. After the election, you go home and see that.
Absolutely.
Then I bet we want to encourage all these guys to look for something to do. Look for things to do. Outside this country, there are so many things you can do. Okay. Two professional bodies. Look for something. It's important. So it gives you weight. There are many people who know they can't buy you. They rather listen to you. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Let me come to you now. You are a chieftain of the APC. You always acknowledge that. Do you foresee your party heading towards, I don't want to use the word on my head, heading towards rejection come 2027 as an implication? Because let's tell ourselves the truth. Majority of Nigerians, no matter what you see on the social media, deep down, they are not happy with the policies of your political party, the APC. Somebody was telling me yesterday that a bag of rice is now 50,000, 60,000. I asked him, 10 years ago, 2015, how much was it? So you cannot tell me it has reduced because it was between the scale of 10,000, just 2015, 2016, before it's corrected to about 100 and something thousand. Now you are saying it is 50. That is still not reduction. Okay. Reduction will be if you now say it goes down to like 5,000. So don't you think your party will face rejection come 2027?
Can I not come? I think first, that's an insinuation by minority of you.
No, not me. That's what
minority of those the electorate who probably have that view. Which electorate? Who are electorates?
The people.
Okay, the electorates are not dumbs that anybody can just come and cook a story and give. You talked about acolyte, Akodelight. You said it just now. Yeah. Akodelight should go to national television and show Nigerians what he has done in his state for the period of 3.5 years. And let Nigerians judge from there. Let's not say things or do things based on emotions or sentiment. We never would have had it better than we are having today if Asiwaju and his team haven't come on board.
What have we had?
Oh, then you listen. Okay. There is no perfect system, agreed. Before he came, the insurgent we talk about now, over 42 communities, even before Buhari came, were taken over and flag were flew, taxes were being paid in North Central, Northeast, particularly. And in the Southeast, there were completely a declaration of a specific period where you don't go out, you don't come in. There were a lot of killing unabated.
That started under the APC in the East.
Oga, I am telling you, Oga.
It wasn't happening during the PDP
Oga,
in the
now,
East.
come on.
No, I know what I'm saying.
Oga, are you talking about party thing or administrative section activities?
No,
if you are making it party,
you are trying to
if you are making it party, now you run to East, but you didn't talk about the kidnap of students, then the insurgents and Boko Haram and ISWAP during PDP.
As at then, so only 14 local governments.
Come on, don't say what. Don't say what you are not sure.
I know what I'm saying.
Wait now. Will you allow me drop my discussion because you're interjecting me? And now you have said those you have said, and a bag of rice was almost 100 and something at the time. I run a restaurant. I'm a CEO of a restaurant. So I cook every day. Even before I came here, I have cooked in the kitchen.
You cooked or your staff?
I'm a chef. I am a chef and I have a team.
Okay.
I have joined and cooked in the kitchen, went back home, refreshed and started coming.
Okay.
Because what I do every day. So every day, I must go to the market to buy food. So I know where we were at the time and where we are now. Now let me tell you, the market is 50% beautiful as we are talking. Yes, the world economy. When the international system, both the World Bank initiated 2020 Millennium Development Goals, they weren't joking. They told countries across the world, by 2020 you would have met all your basic needs, roads, schools, because henceforth, the people can read this entity we call Nigeria or world for next 40, 50 years and tell you what will become of it.
Yeah.
And they told you the world global economy will crash from 2020 down and country will hardly and barely survive. Now, over 4.6% today in America. I had liked CNN this morning. Today, 4.6% was said. Level of poverty that have increased in America.
Okay.
Now, you go to UK and some other countries. There have been protests on hunger. Now, this is the first time we are seeing a country, Nigeria, where things have gone up and it's going down. And you are telling me it's not fine.
The question
now,
is,
you were receiving salary 10 years ago. I'm coming. 10 years ago. I know, 10 years ago, when you started working here, I know you've been here for years. I am sure your salary was not what it is now. That simply means...
But the cost of living then is not what it is now.
That is what I'm telling you. It is the formula of the world today. The more your salary is increases, the more commodities too you spend that same money for also increases.
The question I ask is...
APC can never be rejected. Now, your question was, how can APC be rejected when APC are building roads? Roads that were granted
They are basic necessities.
by previous administrations.
Under the APC too.
Come on.
Muhammad Buhari was under the APC.
Obasanjo had an administration. Buhari, Jonathan and Yar'Adua had administration. Let's even say from 1999 down. And in these years we are talking about, how many years did PDP manage?
It's almost
since
the same.
1999.
It's almost the same thing.
It's almost the same 16. thing. And at the time the world were enjoying the euphoria of excess crude oil.
Enjoyed then.
I am coming. What did you enjoy?
A lot.
Were there, okay, can you tell me the roads and bridges that were built at those times those people were in government? Even from when Jonathan was a president for 6 years.
Okay.
From Otweke, from here to Otweke, where it come from, it must come through Benin and pass through Benin. Do you know none of these roads were touched for those 6 years? As bad as it was.
But it has still not been touched up till now because I traveled that road.
That means you are far away.
It has still not been touched.
Okay, you cannot tell me the Sapele Road houses up to Bayelsa projects are not ongoing. Come on now, you are not talking to those. You are not talking to DOMs. Nigerians sees everything. Now you are talking about Coastal Road being initiated to cut across all the states in the south. Nothing is happening. Now, we need to go because of your question. I am trying to give you some information probably you don't have.
I have all the informations because this is my job. We have the information, but we need to go. As we go, a final thought from the both of you. From your end, Olumese, what will be your admonition, both to those that are defecting and those they are defecting to meet and the electorate ahead of 2027? Same question to you. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, in my very last thought, wishing Nigerians again a happy Christmas in advance and a prosperous New Year. Politicians, please, this is the only country we have.
Okay.
We must play the politics so that there will still be Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like for the APC, they should they also trade with caution. Yes, look, just like we could see that there was a time there was this PDP who thought that
it's Uhuru for them. They'll
no,
just be there forever.
See, nothing they happen.
Nothing they happen.
Usawe, you know, those days we used to hear language Usawe, 10 over 10,
10 over 10.
18 over 18. Where are we today?
Today, okay.
So that's why I started when I was laying foundation that they should learn that what is happening in PDP is something you can learn from.
Yeah.
Yes, nobody should play God. Over, if you look at even present APC, I watched one of the chieftains of the APC weep over the release of names of our ambassadorial this and all of that.
They were all shouting.
The lot is not well in order. So, but all the same, first there will have to be a Nigeria before we can begin to talk about politics.
Absolutely. Okay.
So please, everybody must hold Nigeria first.
Before anything else.
And they must take caution because look at the trend that happened in the ECOWAS system now.
Yeah.
This issue of
coup
and
in
all
ECOWAS
that. They
states.
should be careful because when coup take place, politicians first of all become victims.
They become jobless.
Yes, no, not part jobless. They become victims. Most of them will be picked.
Absolutely.
Most of them will be kicked, so they should be careful.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose this democracy. I pray for this democracy. We don't want the worst of democracy is better than the best of military. So we want to be in democracy. Okay. We'll get better.
All right.
So all politicians must know that they hold a responsibility to make sure they don't destroy this country.
Collins, your final thought in 1 minute.
It can't be 1 minute.
We need to go.
No, it's not possible.
My director has given me...
Now let me tell you.
Okay.
All hands must be on deck to get things right.
Okay.
It's not about being a party or not being a party.
Okay.
We are all stakeholders in this game.
Absolutely.
So when, even those in the party, when leaders are behaving arbitrarily and upside down, we should be able to call the spade a spade and get them corrected, even though you become victim of your outcry. Because usually when you speak out, you are victim. It's normal. So let's our selfish end not make us continually be silent. Now, my brother just talked about the ambassadorial list that came out and all of that. We have a senator, for example, representing Edo South. Okay. For example, we have senator representing Edo Central. For example, it was National Assembly that submitted this name and the names were screened. They were there looking like foul. Now, at the end of the day...
No, you can't say they are foul. They are humans. They are humans. They were there. No, you said like fouls. That's in what is it called in literature? There's a phrase we use for it, but we can't use that here. They are humans.
Can I explain what I mean?
No, they are humans.
Okay, if you do not want to me to use the word foul,
we need to go.
Probably they were looking like sit down, look, and dog.
Okay, you can say
now. These people were supposed to then know that the interest of their senatorial or constituents were not being pushed out. So if they choose to have been quiet, that is where the electorate will now call these people to order and say, where were you? Were you sleeping?
Gentlemen.
So let's not make it look it's all politics.
Collins,
or
if I allow you to continue, we're not going to end the show. But my director said we have to go. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on board. Thank you very much for coming. That's the size of our package on the show today, 60-minute Nigeria. God willing, we'll be back again next week with another exciting package for you as we monitor the polity and the politics ahead of 2027. We'll see you on the other one. I am Lawrence Osifo saying bye for now. is Anegbete community, situated in Isako Central Local Government Area of Edo State. It is an agrarian community with united people that promotes unity and oneness for peaceful coexistence. The inhabitants of the community migrated from Benin, the cradle of black civilization, a kingdom where king is truly king. The ancestors of Anegbete saw that age was the main determinant of leadership in the rural setting, and the eldest man in the settlement was regarded as the leader who presided over meetings, and his authority is held in high esteem. To further strengthen this unique system of leadership, age group evolved in Anegbete. In Anegbete, age group is categorized into two, that is, the common and the noble. Anegbete is rich in cultural heritage, as the community at noon saw the commitment of the festival with the first set rolled out in beauty colors to showcase their might and strength, indicating their feet and ready for the responsibilities behold on them. The streets in the community with a feed up of young men and women adorned with the festival. Later, the royal family takes the stage as their children fight out royally and work in the community to showcase their might and fitness.
My leader.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is Akwa Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin Akwa seed. Ayo or Akwa game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Akwa game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Bully, we're talking about. That's what I said. So
that's,
when they bullied her,
yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something. You have to be
they
smart.
Can't sit
if
down.
You see where they are dressing them over, dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Hello viewers, welcome to Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji. A lot is currently happening in Nigeria, especially in the area of insecurity. So we're going to be looking at the life sentence that was actually given to the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and the possible social-political implications that it's going to be having in the country. I am Caroline Okonji on Viewpoint. So let's go talk to some of our resource persons and residents of Edo State to hear what their reactions going to be about this particular topic. I am Caroline once again on Viewpoint.
I'm not surprised I was given a life sentence. In fact, I would say that it's even lucky. Because you know, at a point during the trial, he disposed of his team of lawyers. He said he wanted to defend himself. You are not a lawyer, you are standing trial, a trial that the punishment is either life imprisonment or death. So I would say that it's even lucky. At the end of the day, the judge opted to give him life imprisonment in spite of all the provocations, insulting the judges, insulting the lawyers and all that. I think the punishment was even fair on him. You understand? That's the way I look at it. Then if we are talking about the political implication, of course, one would have expected that the president, being that they've actually at times they try to talk peace with Boko Haram terrorists, they try to make peace with bandits that are busy ravaging the northern part of the country. One would have expected that he should have also been given an olive leaf to ensure that there will be peace in the east. Because whether you like it or not, he has thousands or millions of sympathizers that are in the east, especially in the east. Even around the world, you also have some people that are actually very sympathetic to whatever is agitating for, whether rightly or wrongly. So I would have expected the president to leverage on that issue by granting him that amnesty, just like the way they did to Igboho and Co. Because of course, at a point, those ones were also agitating in the western part of the country. He was able to give them, he was able to settle with them, just as we also had with men in the southern side of the south of the country. We also, Yaradua then, when he was alive, was able to grant them amnesty to ensure that there was peace there. Nobody was disturbing the pipelines and everything was going very fine. So I would have expected that this administration would have tried to leverage on that in order to create that enough peace in the east. Because as we are still talking, the sit-at-home order that they are giving is still very relevant, is still being enforced in some states in the east, like especially in Owerri, Imo State. They still observe it. In some other states, they also observe it. So people, even when you want to travel to the east now, you become very apprehensive because you know that you don't know what will happen because of that sit-at-home order and all that. So I felt that the federal government should have leveraged on that. But for him to have said he wanted to defend himself, we as lawyers, immediately made that decision, we knew that there was nothing that was going to save him. Because no matter how you feel that you know the law, you cannot know the law like a lawyer. You know, the lawyers would have been able to look at his the case that was presented by the prosecution and be able to raise a very good, robust defense, raise enough maybe probably discrepancies and loopholes in the prosecution's defense that would have warranted him being maybe being discharged and acquitted of this offence. But he opted to say he wanted to defend himself and he never needed lawyers again, and this is where we are. Since the trial started, even when he has been convicted now, we have actually not seen an upsurge in the security situation in the east. So it seems as if people have also accepted that he has been convicted and nobody's saying anything. For now, I don't know. It's possible they might have plans to say they want to come out to the street or to have plans to start demonstrating or maybe attacking government and government institutions and all that. Nobody knows. But for the now, it has actually not affected anything. It has not increased the insecurity in those regions more than where it was before. It has not at all.
I want to say that the sentence given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the judgment itself and the sentence that followed from the judgment, they were very fair to him, very fair. Ordinarily, the law provides for death sentence for such an offense. So, but the judge in his wisdom decided to give him life imprisonment, which is still a subject of controversy in the legal sphere. Now, the question should be, did the judgment flow from the facts evidence before court? And the answer that will follow is yes. When a prosecution closes its case, they've learned evidence as to how they allude or claim that a person committed an offense. It is the duty of that person to allow himself, by way of calling witnesses, to debunk what the prosecution has said. But what the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, did was to choose, rather than defend himself, he chose to attack the court, was questioning the court at every point, challenging the court's authority over him. That's not how a trial proceeds, and the judge had no choice at that point but to bring his defense to an end, since obviously by that his action, he's saying that he doesn't have a defense. So the court in his wisdom brought his defense to an end and went ahead to move the matter straight for judgment, since there was really nothing to defend anymore. And when he was also asked to make a written address, rather than make written address, he brought a motion upon which he attached an address. It is that address the court now took as his final address in the matter. So the judgment itself, to me, is sound. Now, coming to the circumstances of security challenge in this country, whether that judgment will aggravate security challenge in this country, I will tell you, security situation in this country is already bad. So we should not, with this our fear of, if I take this step, security challenge will increase. If I take that step, security challenge, that is what has aggravated the security situation in this country. Each step we take, we are looking at, one person, every person, somebody must be offended. That's the truth. As a leader, you are not there to go and serve ice cream. Your job is to go there and deliver justice, no matter whose horse is God. If it is the Igbo man today, give justice to and against him where it's not necessary. If it's an Hausa man, do the same. If it's a Yoruba man, do the same. That is the only issue. The problem people are having is that while you are imprisoning and sentencing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are begging and placarding the Fulanis that are and other tribes that are presently causing mayhem in this country, because we have seen them. Because people they try to say, the filmmaker that made the movie The Head wanted to just bring bad name to the Fulanis, but we see every day on social media the Fulanis, the headsmen, they celebrate their actions, and when you see the ones celebrating their actions in the bush, they are Fulanis. They will show you their captives in the bush. So if all the media space is filled up, TikTok is filled up with Fulani headsmen that are keeping people in captivity in the name of they are now in charge of security of this country. They are showing off how much they have decimated the security situation in this country. Then you say we should not talk about their tribe. We should talk about their tribe. Every tribe has bad egg, and it should be dealt with as such. You should not look at the tribe's name. Now you talk about how the Igbos will react. The truth is, the Igbo man has suffered a lot in this country. I will not mince words in saying it. The Igbo man has suffered a lot. I was in Jos Plateau State in 2008 when the Jos crisis was at its peak. Igbo man suffered a lot. You know the painful part? When you will now go to the police station and the court, where you expect to see a large number of persons that were arrested, you will see them today that over 300 persons are in custody. Come next week, nobody is there. No trial takes place. It's as if we treat this security situation as if it's just two fighting. Two people fought yesterday. We just say, don't do it again. We pat them at the back and go home. People die. Somebody has died. It's not a case of two people fought. It's now a serious offense that must be dealt with all the importance attached to it. In America, one person went and killed somebody in front of the White House there. Killed somebody there. If you see the way the government took it, it's as if they took it as if it is the whole war, as if it was a war. They gave it all the seriousness required. But here, when somebody is killed here, we treat it as if it's foul that was killed. When people, the government will just treat it as if take for example the way they dealt with this Akure, is it Kwara State church kidnapping, where people with people with firearms, brandishing firearms, come into a church and started committing havoc, wreaking havoc, shooting at people. Then they took some away. Then the next day, the government came out proudly, with a shame, to say they are happy to announce that they have rescued these people. Then why, after rescuing, what did you now do to those who came to commit the offense?
In my opinion, it's very, very unfortunate that the Nigerian society has degenerated to this extent that we find ourselves judicially and politically. The silence of good people in the face of oppression and cruelty is an injustice to justice. I will not fail to lend my voice against the political conviction, because the offense or the crime committed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not warrant life imprisonment, because though his actions cannot be in any way justifiable, but when there is an incitement of public, there is a provision for it. And when you talk about treason, there must be an evidence that the persons who is being charged for treason has in any way connived or collaborated or conspired with other persons in quest to usurp the powers of the state. But in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, he only made verbal statements. There was no evidence that he bear arms. There was no evidence that he waged war against the Nigerian state, and there was no evidence that he killed anybody. So why should he be sentenced to life imprisonment when we have seen recently that the so-called repentant Boko Haram who have killed, who have raped, who have kidnapped, who have waged war, who have committed genocide, we are being forgiven, so to say, by the Nigerian state and be infused into the Nigerian military formation. That's to say, they were granted presidential pardon. These are the persons who have openly killed, who have steal, and who have destroyed. We have equally seen another terrorist who were arrested, charged to court, and was given just 20 years imprisonment. Meanwhile, in the case of Kanu, someone who have never been seen bearing arms, who have never seen killing someone, who have never seen destroy anything, was sentenced to life imprisonment. I have this to say. This is a political convention, not a lawful or a judicial convention. If it were to be in accordance with the law, he would have been given 5, 6, 10 years, as the case may be, imprisonment, not to be sentenced to life imprisonment. Does his offense warrant life imprisonment? In its entirety, it doesn't warrant life imprisonment. Like I have said, I condemn his actions for inciting violence, but that offense does not warrant life imprisonment. So the Nigerian actors, the political actors, should look into the conviction and the processes so that it doesn't lead to or compound the socio-political unrest in the east, eastern part of the country, and other part of the nation. So the Nigerian state should be very careful, because we have series of insecurity that the state is trying to deal with. They shouldn't compound the problem. I think what the federal government is trying to do, everything happening about Nnamdi Kanu is purely political. It is not in accordance with the law. Yes, the Nigerian government have the right to transfer him to any correctional service, maybe for the purpose of his safety, because they are also fearful that the Biafran agitation might also have plans or motive to get into the prison and rescue him out of prison. Perhaps that would be the government fear. Again, I am not also comfortable that transferring to the northern part of the country is also safe or politically wise enough, being for the fact that the northern part of the country and the eastern part of the country have been at loggerhead. We remember vividly respecting to what happened during the Civil War. So we don't want a situation whereby even the bandits or those in the north that doesn't have the good interest of the east will also get at him in the prison, because if he dies in the prison unjustly, that will amount to series of insecurity if it will not warrant another civil war in this country.
Treason or levying war against the state could likely take death or life imprisonment. If you see what the consequences of the actions of indigenous people of Biafra has taken a toll on the southeast, some people have died. They are trying to secede. It's a very serious decision for a part of a country to want to secede. We saw what happened in the United Kingdom when the Republic of Ireland wanted to secede. The United Kingdom fought tooth and nail to ensure that they stop it, although eventually part of Ireland seceded. No country takes it lightly. And so, taking into cognizance the socio-economic, socio-political dynamics of his sentence, it will dampen the morale of every Southeasterner, because generally people are saying that it seems that the Southeast is caged. But I think if Nnamdi Kanu and his group are going to pipe low, then a political situation can be found so that peace can be restored to the Southeast. There's a political aspect to it. The thing is that, is Nnamdi Kanu ready to back down from his agitation? Like I said, no nation takes it lightly when you want to break up the nation. Because if you look at all our constitutional conference, one aspect that has always been non-negotiable is the territorial integrity and the unity of this country. We don't negotiate it. And so we have fought a war before and nobody wants a war. Even the Nnamdi Kanu that he's talking about, was he part of those who fought that war? Most of the people who are talking about the leveling war against the state were not part of the war fought in the 60s. And I think that the East should reconsider warming up to the Federation and other regions, stretch their hands across the Niger and shake the Southeasterners and restore them back into the nation as friends, brothers, and co-partners in the building of Nigeria.
Though, if we really want to follow the laws of the land, what the federal government has done was done in the right direction. But we can also say that sometimes the hand the father used to beat a child is the also same hand to bring that child back to the body. What Nnamdi Kanu did, truly we can say it's wrong, because you cannot shout war in a country and don't also expect the consequence. People like related Abiola also suffer same fate when they declare themselves as president, because we are in a sovereign nation, we are in a nation where laws abide. So I think what the federal government did was done in the right direction. But can we say, is it not going to also affect politically? Definitely yes, you can't say no about that. The reason is because Nnamdi Kanu is a voice as we speak. After the demise of Odumegwu Ojukwu, Nnamdi Kanu became the voice that the Igbo people believe in. 60% of them believe in the cause of Nnamdi Kanu. So it's also going to disturb the political calculation from that angle. And taking him to the area where, to me, it's not also safe for the very just now, was also something done in the bad faith. But what I would excuse is that if they put him in Kuje prison, it's going to be a sort of mecca where people come to visit him. That goes to tell you the type of person that has been arrested. For you to know that if you keep him here, that place is going to be a beehive of activities. It goes to show that person. So I think we will also come to the table of the president to beg, to have leniency, to beg, to say what he has done before can be seen and be forgiven. Because we are in a country where people slaughter, people kidnap, people kill people, show their guns, and nothing is done to those people. The same government that has given out the Kalu this faith will also say those people, we see those people and also negotiate with them, giving them mouth-watering excuses to make sure that what was done to these other people is done in bad faith. So to me, we must be transparent to ourselves. Nigeria does not live in a better tripod. We live in a place where some people carry AK-47s and they are negotiated with, and somebody else is seen with a knockout or a pistol, and the person is charged for illegal possession of firearms. So it's a country where the laws are for some people and the law is for some people. So to me, the federal government should see how best Nnamdi Kanu issue should be nipped on the bud, not to cause another worse-off crisis in that eastern region.
First and foremost, commend the judge for taking such a stand in such a very, very sensitive case. We all know that the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have lingered for this long. I think he was first arrested in 2015 and on and on and on. And the judgment came just a week or so ago. Be that as it may, I think I wouldn't want to belabor myself with the issue of cessationist agitation for states their own right of self-determination, which of course is a rule of customary international law, and it is also enshrined in the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights of 1966. I think Article 1, Sub 3, that they have a right of self-determination, but there are laid down rules and procedure for that. I think the major charge against him was that related to terrorism on a 7-count charge. And we are looking at the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022. Somehow, there are laid down penalties for the offense of terrorism, which of course I would say the judge was fair enough to follow such provisions of that law. Even though Nnamdi Kanu was not actually charged under that Terrorism Act of 2022. But however, that would be another case for the appellate court to look into. Then, looking at the socio-political aspect, for now, it seems to be calm. But I am sure that by the time they go on appeal and the case begins to go otherwise, there's going to be a kind of uprising, especially in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And that may not augur well so much for the security aspect of our nation, especially now that we are grappling with the issue of Nigeria being a country of a particular concern by stating from the American president point of view. Of course, I will say here and now that there are so many windows still open for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and for peace to also reign in the southeast. For example, I think there's a rumor making around that leaders, political thoughts, leaders from the southeastern part are trying to lobby the presidency if it can be granted pardon. I think if anybody is trying to question the position of the judge, why will he take such a stern position of life imprisonment? I will say that according to a very good jurisprudential school of thought, it said law can be defined as what the court says it is. So I believe the judge also followed that line of wanting to look at the law of terrorism and see that Nnamdi Kanu is given just what he deserves. I want to say here, as one who is abreast with the law to some extent by the grace of God, from the day he decided to defend himself, that he doesn't need the services of his lawyers, I think that was a very great error on his part, because the lawyers, they have the law at their breast, and they have a way of also using persuasive arguments to sway the courts. And I hope that he will learn from this, so that during appeal, he will allow his lawyer to take over the case. I think with this little, I can say, I hope that it will not escalate to a kind of uprising as regard to the issue of security, especially in the eastern part of Nigeria.
Having heard all that has been said from our respondents about the judgment that was actually given to the IPOB leader, some are of the opinion that it was a well-deserved judgment, while some are saying that the judgment should have been treated with human face and that he deserved to be pardoned. It's Viewpoints on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from Independent Television and Radio.
Hello and welcome to Women in Conversation, reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels. Thank you for joining us on today's program. We have our women seated in the house to discuss and, converse on certain issues that is affecting women in the society. Of course, I have on my right Barrister Chisom Agbofi. Barrister Chisom is a legal practitioner. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Patricia. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for joining us again. And then we have Abiodu in the house. Abiodu is a registered social worker in the UK, and she's also the CEO of Abigail's Court Limited. Abiodu, you're welcome.
Thank you, Patricia, for having me.
And then, of course, I have my princess, my beautiful princess, Edith Madejemo. Princess Edith is an entrepreneur and the CEO of Freedom Hold Global Limited. Princess Edith, you're welcome.
Thank you, Pat, for having me.
It's nice to have you women on set again. It's going to be a fantastic discussion today, just like we did the other day. We're going to have a fantastic discussion, and so we're going to hit the ground running. Let's start by DNA. We have the lawyer in the house who's going to be talking to us about DNA. And so, should DNA be made mandatory before birth certificates are issued in the hospitals? Let's know what DNA is first before we go ahead to talk.
Okay, first of all, DNA, if we're talking biologically, they call it deoxyribonucleic acid. It's a testing that is to determine the biological status of a child, to know the paternity status of a child. So it could have serious implications legally if it turns out that the child is not actually the father. The father is not the owner of the child, or the mother, has done something, and then the father brings up a suit to say, okay, there's paternity fraud somewhere and all of that. Because I think recent statistics, it shows that over 27% of Nigerian men are falling for paternity fraud, where they find out years later that 6 children do not belong to them, or 5 children do not belong to them. And, it can be also psychologically disturbing for somebody to find out that even financially wrecking, it could wreck a man financially. You've been training 5 children for so many years, only for you to find out that none of them is yours, or something like that. So if we should say, okay, should DNA be mandatory in hospitals? I think it depends, because there are some times that, yes, those are your children, but even hospitals have negligence. You could say, I think there was a lady that was saying her daughter was swapped at birth and all of that. Maybe due to those circumstances, we could say that once a child is born, maybe it should be mandatory, maybe within the space of, maybe they should give a 2 weeks time frame if the parent wants to do a DNA test to confirm. I think that is what should be done. I think it's something that should be enforced.
It shouldn't be enforced. It should be in agreement with the parents, if the parents agrees to do that.
That's why I said a 2 weeks period. The hospital can open a 2 weeks period after a child is born and say, as the father, do you want to go through a paternity? If you want to do it, if you don't want to do it, and after that 2 weeks, maybe then you can go.
Okay, thank you for letting that clear to us. Abiodun, let me come to you. I have asked a question, and I'm going to put the question back to you. Should DNA be made mandatory? After the lawyer had explained to us the legal aspect of DNA and what DNA actually is, do you think it should be made mandatory before birth certificates are issued in the hospitals?
I don't think it should be mandatory. It should, as you said, it should be a choice for the parents or the mother to agree to or not. I don't think it should be mandatory. But if they're like educated, tell them the reasons why, like you said, you put it like to make sure that this is your child, that there's not been any mix up, and then it could just be good also for the family with this thing going on. You said the percentage is how much?
27%.
Yeah, it's, that's it shouldn't be any percentage like that. So that is in men's minds that this and that, and again so. To me, if you know that this is your child and everything, then there's no harm in it, but it shouldn't be mandatory. Then it should be like encouraged, like let it be a norm. There's some things that is a norm, but you don't have to do it. Then after a while, it becomes a norm that because it's a choice, because people are educated that, so that there's no argument or, let's just do it and it's like a norm. But like now, when you say, oh, you should go and do DNA. It's as if, oh, you don't trust me. You think this is not your child. But if it's like, we just do it because so that it doesn't cause anything in future, and the wife and then you do it, then it's like everybody's doing it there. But at this stage, not for it to be mandatory. I think they should just start to educate people that this is the percentage, this is it, and then you want, that's why.
Not for it to be mandatory. Thank you, Abiodun. I'm coming back to you. I'm going to come back to you. But let me talk to Edith. Edith, as an African woman, as an African woman that I know you are, do you think it should be made mandatory? Given with the, percentage that the lawyer had just quoted for us. Chisom says it's 27% of the children not being the children of a man. Do you think it should be made mandatory?
It can't be made mandatory because I don't think it's the right or the duty of the government to enforce that. There are certain rights that the government has, and there are certain rights the human being has as equal also. So I don't think it is the right thing for the government to mandate individual to conduct a DNA on their child. I think it's a personal thing. It's an individual thing, just like she rightly said. There should be a window for a decision, whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. You understand? Whether you want to carry out the DNA test on your child. Some people don't care, some people don't mind. But if there's any doubt, and like I said, it's a personal thing, you can say, okay, let's do it while the child is still very young. So I won't go through that route of financial wrecking, emotional wrecking that will come on the long run. You understand? So I don't think it's going to be ideal for a DNA to be done before a certificate is being issued.
Okay. Do you know why I'm laughing?
No.
Because you're saying it shouldn't be mandatory. Okay, yes, I agree with you. But then again, in a situation where, like taking example, the embassies will ask for a DNA test to be carried out, and then the result comes out negative. Carrying out a DNA test because you're trying to seek for a visa, is that not mandatory as a lawyer?
It is mandatory.
When it is necessary.
That's why I said, like, the issue of, we talked about the percentage. There's a report that says 27% of men in Nigeria, they suffer from paternity fraud. That is, they find out that these 4 children I have been training, school fees and everything, the 4 of them are not mine. So if there's the case of paternity fraud where there's a misrepresentation on the paternal status of the children, then it is mandatory. They've had cases like that, like you mentioned, at the embassy, and they want to, they carry out a DNA on the child to find out that you're not the father of the child, and then the husband will have to file a suit in court, and it's wrecking legally, financially, emotionally. It scatters the family. So that's why I said that, when there's a case of paternity fraud, which is so much prevalent in Nigeria now, women enforce maybe having multiple sexual partners as at the time they got married, and you don't even know, you're not sure which is which. So as a woman, you should be able to acknowledge that, okay, I'm confused. Because I think the problem with women is you feel, I believe there's a natural way women know and say, you're the father of the child and all of that. We fail to just say, okay, let us do this. Women adamant, in that area. They're always stubborn.
Let me come in there. My mom said something as a growing up young girl. She used to say, it's only a woman that knows the father of her child.
So women.
So do you think that in such cases, these women knows that those children are not for the men, but they just kept it a secret?
That's what I'm saying. That they say, they have a notion. Times have changed where, even a grandma will say, I can give birth to this child. But there are complications now that even nurses of the grandmas cannot carry out on the baby. You know that. So times have changed where you say, I'm very sure this is the father of my baby and all of that. As long as you are confused, you've gotten that notion that I don't know the time frame, I don't know the calendar, there's something off, then you should carry out the DNA test. But
your advice is the woman should seek for the DNA test by herself.
Yes, but
when
it's something,
confused.
and that is one of the challenges when she's confused. That's one of the challenges we have with women. when there's a paternity fraud issue, and a woman is, I don't want to do it, she don't even want to do it again. Even when the embassy has found out that this is not the man's child, you're still adamant that you don't want to do it again. Why? I mean, it's clear that this is not his child. So women are always, you know, they don't really want to go through that because of what people would say, that, you know, think that's what society stigma. Yeah, what will society say about me? You know, this is not his children for 6 years. We've even had cases of over 10 years. You have 2 children, and
I have a story. Your case is 10 years, 6 years. I have a story that it was 11 years.
Wow.
Okay, so this guy came into the country, met this girl, they dated, and you know, along the line they had whatever, and she got pregnant and decided to say this guy was the father of the baby. And the guy was like, okay, no problem, I don't want to marry, but you know, we could take care of the child since you say you don't want to get the child off. And then of course they continued, and he was sending school fees, sending everything, and the child turned 11. This lady got married, had other 2 children, and you know, the guy was like, okay, you know what, let me relieve you from my own child, my daughter. Let's get her into the US. So of course, you know, all the US documentations and everything. One of them was to carry out a DNA test, and then the DNA came back and it was a 000, you know. So, and that's got everything disorganized. But she kept saying it was a mistake from the hospital that the DNA was carried, and that's it. The guy said, okay, so what do you want me to do? He said, let me go and take your mother's blood and carry out another one in my own hospital. And the guy said, no, I'm not going to do that. Because if the embassy's hospital had carried out the DNA and says it's a 000, exactly. I mean, why do you think my mom's blood will change it, and in your own hospital, I don't know what you're going to do. So my question here now quickly is, the guy rejected the child after 11 years. Do you think it was the right thing to do?
That was traumatizing.
He rejected the child.
Yes, Edith, let's start with you. Do you
that
think
was traumatizing.
It was the right thing to do?
No, I don't know. It may not be the right thing to do, because for a child who's been in his or her life for 11 years, that's quite an age. You must have built bonding, emotional love, investment. You must have invested in that child. You know, for you to just reject the child outrightly, I don't think that was the right thing to do, because you can actually father a child that is not actually your biological child. You understand? To me, I would say that was a very harsh decision. There are some children people cater of or fund are responsible for their upbringing and education out there that are not your biological children. You can swear just this child is an innocent child. She's not aware of what happened. You understand? You just rejecting the child outrightly actually shows the level of love you actually have for the child. That's what I would say, because that's an innocent child that doesn't know what happened. I would have said you should have just take the child, take care of the child. You can decide to change the name. You can decide to change the name and
to another name.
To another name. And when the child grows up, you let the child know this is what transpired when you were at a younger age, and I still kept on doing what I'm supposed to do as your father. You don't have to be the biological father to train or raise the child. Do you understand?
Thank you, Edith. Abiodun, what's your take on that?
It's very sad. Firstly, before, I don't know, for me, because my background, I've come from the UK back to Nigeria. In the UK, before a DNA test is done, they would have spoken to the family just in case it becomes that, so that you know the consequences, because a child is involved. Everything is usually child-centered because the child will be affected. So they would analyze things beforehand. So before that test is done, the mother would have spoken to the mother, they would have spoken to the father and the child that, listen, you're going to do this test. The outcome might be this and this. What are you going to do? So that they plan ahead and they make sure they protect the child.
Thank you.
Because to me, you do, and then you now reject
the
child. How old is the child?
11.
That is, to me,
Very harsh.
It's very harsh.
I don't. It's from Nigeria here.
Yeah, they are both Nigerians.
They should have counselors and everything. That man should not have been allowed to do that. Yes, I know. And then again, the woman is saying that, can you take your mother? I know, your mother's blood. Maybe. We don't know. Maybe, because I can't say it could be genuine that she didn't know. And if she's had, then it must be an open discussion. Did you, while you were dating, did you have another partner, this and this and that? And there's something you said that a woman would know. Yeah, but
my mom says that.
No, woman knows.
Only a woman knows who is responsible for her pregnancy.
I just hope that she probably was confused or something. But if she had, then there needs to be a conversation. Because to me, she would not have gone ahead with that DNA test if she had a situation that it could be the other way around. Does it make sense?
Yeah. If she's aware, of it, she wouldn't have.
Because the child is involved. And then again, I understand the man is angry and upset and maybe feels cheated and everything, but there's a child involved. Because I have another, while we were growing up, there was a similar situation, but not with the DNA. The man remarried, but we all knew during that time that he had fathered a child when he was young, and the mother said, but then later on in life, I think when he remarried, the wife sort of something didn't sit well with her, that maybe this child maybe didn't look alike, blah, blah, blah. So she wrongfully did a test. I don't know how she was able to do the test, but I'll find out the story later. And they found out that he's not the man's child. So obviously, but the man was good, even though, and this was not, the child was probably 19 or so.
Already an adult.
It was a girl, but they didn't reject the child.
Thank you.
Till today, I heard he's still taking care of the child.
Abiodun.
Yeah. It's in Nigeria.
Okay.
Similar, but
there was a case.
Sorry, darling. Sorry. We're going to be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay. Welcome back. We're still on Women in Conversation, and I still have my women seated here in the house. I have Barrister Chisom by my right, and I have Princess Edith by my far left, right, and then I have Abiodun by my left. What we have been discussing on DNA, should DNA be made mandatory before birth certificates are issued? Anyway, we were talking on that before we went on a short break. So I'm going to bring another aspect of on this DNA. We're going to be talking of abortion. Okay, now we're talking about DNA being made mandatory before birth certificates are issued. But we have also seen a case where a woman was raped. In such case, do you think abortion will be the right thing to do?
Okay, well, for me, I don't think abortion is the right thing to do, because if we're looking at the biological connection of how a child is formed, the child is already living. And is a living being inside of you already. So I don't think abortion is the next thing. No matter the procedure, how the child was made, or the circumstances that surrounds the event of how, the woman, whatever she went through, I don't think abortion should be the option to go. And even at that, if we're looking at the legal implication of that, we could say that abortion is not legal in Nigeria. So even maybe there are even cases where we have girls in secondary school using alternative methods to abort kids, and that could even have a greater implication, health implication, right, in the long run. So I don't think it's advisable for a woman to go through abortion. I think the only condition where abortion should be allowed is when there's complication as to who to save when it comes to maybe a health issue. Maybe you should save the child or save the mother. For me, I think that should be the only reason why abortion should be allowed. Other than that, I don't think so.
Edith, in a case where there's rape, should abortion be allowed?
It's complicated. I would say it's complicated because in some cases, I like to be, how do I put it? I don't like to be straight at times. I like to be okay, let me go this way. It will be good not to carry out an abortion in some cases. What if, let me be trickish, what if this person that was raped has been looking for a child for years? What if this person has just come out of relationship because there was no pregnancy. And, you know, in Africa, we don't see men having any issue when it comes to reproductive. Everything is all woman's fault. And the woman is out of the marriage, and all of a sudden she was raped and pregnancy surfaced. What do you advise in such case? She shouldn't carry out an abortion in that case. To me, that's a blessing in disguise. Yes. To me, that's a blessing, because children are blessings from the throne of God. You understand? So to me, that's a blessing in disguise. Then there are cases, rare cases, like she said, where abortion can be, you know, considered. Like health, in the case of your health, it can be considered. In the case of a teenager, maybe considered. But legalized, no. It shouldn't be legalized, because anything that is legalized in this part of the world, people will abuse it.
Misuse. Abiodun, I just heard you say amen. Excuse me. I just heard you say amen. Amen to what? Amen to.
I agree to some of the things that she said.
Okay.
Not everything.
Yeah. Definitely.
And my take on that is, yeah, it's a very sad situation in rape, and I believe that with the right network of people surrounding that person, that they can make things work. I don't believe in abortion. As my sister already said, children are heritage from the Lord. And again, the Bible says that before you were formed in your mother's womb,
I knew thee
and predestined. So that child has a destiny. Yeah, regardless of which father or
sperm
has come. As my sister said, some people are looking for children. They'll even take anybody's
child,
sperm or whatever to fertilize them. So I'm not saying this particular situation, she might be, you know, production or anything, but just look at the future. I've had, you know, one of a family person had, you know, similar issue where she was pregnant when she was young, and they had the abortion. Till today, she's not had any children. She's regretting it.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's the health implication.
That's the health implication
we're talking about.
She's regretting it.
Okay,
so
I'm going to redirect this question in a different way.
Okay.
What if you were still married, the woman is married in her husband's house, and the armed robbers came into the house?
There you go.
Raped her. So
Okay.
Is abortion needed at this time?
But you know that if you get raped, yeah, and after you can go to the hospital. There's something that they give you to cleanse you out, which is not abortion.
Yeah, that's not abortion.
Immediately after. Yeah, just to flush. I can't remember what it is. So in that situation, there are things now that can help in that situation.
You know, in that case, what you just said, there's something there in the medical terms, their name they call it. There's something that they will give, they will cleanse your system and wash off everything that we are talking about. That boils down to to knowledge and ignorance. What if the person is not aware of this? What if the person involved is not aware of anything of sort, and the person will just stay at home and wallow in pain?
You have not answered my questions, ladies. Okay. What if the woman is married and, you know, she was raped right in her husband's house and she got pregnant? Should she go for abortion, or take a walk from the marriage, or remain in the marriage and have the baby for the man?
And now that they call her double wahala. Double wahala. See, go be.
There's nothing God cannot do in that situation.
Okay.
Pastor. That cannot resolve.
Yes, darling.
In that situation, you don't know whether she's had all girls and this one will become a boy.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm
just saying. Oh my God.
Listen. There's nothing. You don't know. Even in that situation, God knew that it was going to happen. The man, you know, and the husband might, he knows what has taken place. Do you understand? So then God can make it where everybody's at peace.
Okay, well, on a serious note, I would say there should be a discussion.
Definitely.
There should be a discussion between the couple, the husband and the wife. Find there was rape and is aware of it. And maybe it was in the house as well. So there should be a discussion. A heart-to-heart talk to determine whether to keep whatever comes out of it or to get rid of it. You understand? It has to be a mutual agreement.
Okay, but you know, you said mutual agreement. So what happens to ladies, my body, my choice? You know, if the lady, she knows how she's feeling, right? So I think in situations like this, the woman should be prioritized as to what does she want to do, how is she feeling, because there are women like that who will go through traumatic experiences.
Of course.
That. After giving birth to the child,
they'll be
they end up
traumatized.
committing suicide.
True.
Because they
You know, I was going to come to that, yes.
Or they could even start treating the baby somehow.
Yeah.
You know? So it depends on the woman. I think it should be the lady who would decide, I don't know how my body is feeling. Do I want to carry this child? So that's why it's important that if we know anybody going through something like that, it's best to, you know, put them in a situation where you're encouraging them as to what they want, prioritizing what they want, how they feel. I think that's the important.
That is when you are lucky to be in a very good and understanding family.
Okay, so that